Well, go on, everybody. Lennox here from Simple 123 Trader. This is the playbook outlook for the week of September 27th to October 2nd. Let's take a look at the major US pairs. And what I'm going to do tonight is look at what I always look at are the futures. And we'll look at the US dollar futures index first, and I'll look at all the other currency pairs on the futures charts. I'm using some clean charts, no indicators whatsoever. And we're looking at for a weekly bar. So the move for this week will just be one bar. And it's already started, of course, as you can see right now where the cursor is. And US dollar futures index outlook for the week will be another bar to the upside. And looking at it from the daily time frame, I'll show you what I'm seeing overall. And basically, I'll get my Fib Retracement tool and look at the overall retracement of this complete move from top to bottom. And the expectation here would be price coming back into approximately this area. Of course, we have some resistance here. So this is the 50% retracement of this entire move. So the first line of defense is going to be this retracement area. So I could see price coming and having a bit of a stall here. We do have a large 1, 2, 3 bottom. So looking for this to continue to this level this week. So strong US dollar going into this week, which would give traders and our members of the Simple 123 trading system opportunities to make pips in the US dollar pairs. Okay, so let's take a look at the Fib extension on this move from the bottom as an example. So of expected move from this, and we can see again that from this move here, price is going to be in around the 2.618 area, maybe just a little less, but again, still pointing to the same general area for the continued move to the upside. Okay, so that's the US dollar futures index. Let's take a look at the Aussie futures, and it's doing the opposite. It's pointing to the downside. So again, I can do the same type of analysis. I do a Fib retracement of this entire move, gives me a potential to 6.18. We could come down to this level. However, the 50% level would be in line here. And if we put the Fib on, the Fib expansion of this, the extension of this move from top here, what we do get is price coming into the between 3.618 and 4.2. So again, totally possible for it to get down to this level. For the week, we could also see this is support area here, so we could also see price coming here and making a little bit of a jig before we get the final push down. Okay, so that's totally possible in this area here as well. All right, so that's the Aussie. Now let's take a look at the Canadian dollar. And the Canadian dollar also looking weak against a strong US dollar at this point. So again, the same retracement of the current move to the upside. And we get, again, here's 38% to this. So the first area of support is in between 38 and 50%. We can also touch all the way down to 61.8, but looking again with the Fib extension, we should be again in line with the Fib retracement. So looking at that move, we could, of course, again come into this area, or even lower on this move. And again, a similar type of move, we could get this type of gyration before we fall again. Okay. For the euro, similar. They're all looking the same. So if the US dollar is falling, is going up, then we would expect Aussie, Canadian, Euro, Swiss, Japanese yen, perhaps. No, maybe not the Japanese yen, but the New Zealand to be heading to the downside. So again, I can do the same exact Fib retracement of this current move, and we're again looking to come down to the 61.8, and you can see that's a support area right there, and 50% is right in here. And so we have a 1, 2, 3 top, and we would expect price to continue down and touch that area. Again, we could also see some type of gyrations in here before it gets all the way down, but this is a previous resistance area here, and that could turn a little bit, give it a little bit of a up and down in here before it finally drops. Okay, but for this week, we're on the way down. That's the key takeaway just for this week. So for the Swiss, almost identical chart. We're heading to the downside, as you can see. So now you get the idea of what I'm seeing. We're looking for price to come down to the first, at least the first area of support, do some gyrations before it falls, and we could also go much lower after that. Okay, don't know how fast this is going to do this. This is the daily. We have 5 days, so we could get easily 5 bars coming down to that area, no problem. Okay. All right. The Japanese yen. Let me look at let's take a look at Japanese yen. So this will be a bit of the opposite, because this is the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. So since the US dollar is strong, unless the Japanese yen is much weaker, then we would get the US dollar going strong against Japanese yen. So Japanese yen right now is not, of course, the opposite, like I say. So in here we're in this upward type of channel and looking to push. Looks like it wants to push to the upside, but we could see a little further down before that occurs. That's totally possible at this point. This is the daily, and we could see a little bit of a drop here before we get the push back up again. That's totally possible at this point on the daily. Okay, so that's the Japanese yen. Let's take a look at New Zealand. And it is also pointing to the downside, a little different than the others in that this high is lower than this high. So therefore we don't have that clean 1, 2, 3 top here. All we have is just a straight move. So we could see a possible retrace before we get a drop. And so this one is again a little different than the others in that we don't have that clean 1, 2, 3 top. So still looking for this to fall. However, if I take a look at it on the weekly, just to give you an example here, an idea. Okay, so we've had this big strong move. We're up at a very strong resistance area, and now we're turning to the downside. So expected move is a candle down for the week, and just like the Aussie and Canadian. Let's take a look at the GBP one. Okay, that's the Mexican. It is a British pound. Okay, so British pound on the weekly also pointing to the downside. So again, a big run up, and now we've hit resistance, and we're heading back down. Dropping to the daily, the same type of affair. We're looking for the retrace of this move, and this one's gone down quite a ways already, but still looking for further downside. You can see it's doing a little bit of a jig here, but we could see another drop to this level, and maybe even to this level. Okay, so weakness also in the GBP, and the only other one is that I have is the Mexican peso. And see that one on the daily, very weak against the U.S. dollar as well. So I would look to for this. It's a possible turnaround here, possible because we're at a strong support area, but we could have one further drop to this level and maybe even to down to this level before the week is out, since the U.S. dollar is still strong. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing there. All right, and what else do we have? I look at the S&P 500. Okay, so with this one, I'm going to go to the weekly on this. Sorry, the weekly. Very strong push to the upside here, and then we get this drop at this point. And on the daily, basically, what I'm seeing here, and is if we were to draw a trend line right like this, we've been in this move to the upside, very strong. You know, the previous trend line would have been something like this. We broke through that trend line to the downside, but however, we have touched this support area here. And again, I'm going to put the fibs on. Let's take a look at what's going on with the fibs. So the fib retracement of this entire move gives us 23% retrace at this point. Okay, so my expectation for this for the week is for a continued push to the upside. Okay, so we could just come to this resistance area and turn back. However, if any turn back at that point, I think would still contribute to a move back to the upside. Okay, and the reason why I'm saying that is because of this movement here at this point. So right here we have our 1, 2, 3 bottom, move to this level back down, and we're basically in line with that top. So the expected move would be to the upside at this point. If you being totally wrong, of course this would fall right through, but I'm not seeing that happening at this point on the chart. Another look at this. If I put the fibs from this point to the top, then our retracement now becomes 61.8. That's like perfect on that retracement of this move. And if I even put the fib at this level to up, our retracement is still on the 61.8. So again, the expected move is like this to the upside. Of course, when we get here, we're going to have a little bit of a sideways movement, you know, little hesitation before it breaks through, but that will be my expectation for the US S&P 500. Okay, and that would also hold for, of course, the Dow, same type of thing. Okay, let's take a look at gold. And that would be gold futures. Okay, so at this point here on the weekly, you can see that quite the push up, but now we're heading back down in quite a drop. On the daily, what we had here was a triangle and then a breakthrough down. So it looks like gold is still weak. US dollar strength is giving us weakness in gold. We could push down to this level, maybe even further before this week is out. Okay, so if the US dollar continues its strength, that will be my expectation for gold. All right, so let's take a look at Bitcoin. And that will be, so Bitcoin, let's take a look at weekly. Okay, so Bitcoin again made quite a move to this area, very close to previous resistance, and is now turning back. So we're getting a retrace of this current move. So dropping to the daily time frame, again putting the fib retracement on. what we get is possible when I say possible, retrace 61.8% is quite a ways down. 50% is this level. First would be here, and what I'm seeing here is a 1-2. So looking like we should fall to this level coming up in this week. Okay, maybe a little bit of a push here to the upside, but overall we're going to be coming back down to this support level for the week. All right, so that's a look at the outlook for the week for the U.S. major pairs and in futures wise, and for gold and the U.S. dollar, the S&P 500. So profitable trading to everyone. We're done now. Thank you.